Okay, video 6. Can supply side economics reduce unemployment? Well, of course it can. We can have free market supply side, and that will also reduce the natural rate of unemployment. And in 2023, in the UK, we have a really low level of unemployment. Now, obviously, part of that is caused by the fact that a lot of the over 50s have decided to leave the labour market. So it is slightly distorted, but we have got record low levels of unemployment. Now, why is that? Probably because of low welfare payments, low income tax. We've raised the tax threshold, low corporation tax, FDI, enterprise. All of those things will hopefully come to the UK. Just a quick bit about enterprise on here. You know, enterprise and enterprise economy. I often give the USA a really hard time, but it has produced Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Google, Alphabet, Amazon. These are huge, great, big, extraordinary companies. Okay, or we can reduce the power of the trade unions. So free market can reduce the natural rate of unemployment. Therefore, we can run the economies at high levels of demand. Of course, we could also have a green revolution via intervention supply side, where the government spends loads of money on wind turbines, onshore wind turbines. That is a really cheap form of electricity. So therefore, that would be a supply side shock. And it would actually also increase their AD because people wouldn't have such large energy bills. Okay. So assess the contribution of supply side economics to reducing unemployment. Yes, free market and interventionist will decrease unemployment, particularly free market. But if there is a demand side shock, for example, okay, so 2008, 2009, and obviously we can also talk about 2020 and 2021, right, massive demand side shocks. So in this case, what you will in fact be doing is you'll be using Keynesian economics and increasing G, which will then increase AD back to its original point. And then we go through the normal stuff, increasing G, multiple accelerator, SED diagram. That we can do that because the output gap is negative, so we're not going to create massive amounts of inflation. And in 2010, that's what we did. And the budget deficit came to in 2010 was 10% of GDP. Okay, just a quick another one here. Did austerity lead to an increase in unemployment between 2011 and 2019? Well, once again, we had a lot of free market economics already in place. So that would have meant that we would have had a lower natural rate of unemployment. And if you really think about it, during this period of time, we had a contractionary fiscal policy, but we had a fairly strong expansionary monetary policy. Right, interest rates were 0.5%. We did, in fact, use QE. And in the first period of time, the government used QE of £360 billion. Now, that is quite a hefty stimulus into the economy. Therefore, we had an expansionary monetary policy. And in 2020, we used modern monetary financing, which is whereby we printed money and gave it directly to the government, and the government spent more money, and that increased G. Okay, there was a big issue with this, obviously, is that house prices went up. Okay, fine if you own a house, not so great if you don't own a house. So there has been a boom in that area. But the problem with that is it has led to a process of inequality. So for a lot of people now, it's really hard to buy a house. So it did distort the way in which we run our lives. And I think one of the big problems right now in the UK is that we need to reform this sector because a lot of people cannot get on the housing market. Okay.